just came from helping a couple students with the addition and subtraction of sig figs and rounding appropriately. And we came up with a really cool solution. So I wanted to share that using some of the significant figure practice questions from our homework. So on question 7, we look at 8.20 plus 2. Now here's what I want you to think. It's addition and subtraction. If you were to do this on your own, the easiest way to do it would be to line them up. So we're going to start by lining those up. We get 8.20, and then I'm going to plus 2. Now when you're adding and subtracting things that have a decimal point, we always have to line it up. So there's a little imaginary decimal point right here to help us kind of think and keep track of that. So I put in my bar, and then I do my math, and we get 10. So I'm just going to do this out real quick. You can put it in your calculator as long as your answer comes down and it lines up with those decimal points. So each of your numbers should line up. Now here's the trick that we came up with. Is this number a significant 0? The answer is yes. Is there a number here? The answer is no. So I'm going to put a little cross through that. I'm actually going to use the highlighter so we can keep track of things. There's a 2 here. That's a whole number, so we know it's significant. There's no number here, and we're going to cross that out. Now we're going to come down this line. We have an 8, and we have a 2. We have 2 whole numbers lined up on top of each other, so we have a number. This is what I'm going to underline. That's the number I'm going to round to. So I'm going to put my little arrow here to look at this number before it. So we get 10, and we got a round. This is a 2, so it's less than 5. So my final answer is 10. Right? And I can put that decimal point right there to tell me that that number is significant. So that's how we're going to round with some of this math. Now let's take another look at a different one. We got 39.3 minus 0.804. So I have 39.3. And I'm going to subtract. I have to line up all those decimal places. And this is 804. And again, we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to look over here. So if I were to put this into my calculator and do it out, it ends up being 38.496. I did the math out ahead of time. I'm not a genius. I can't do this in my head. So real quick, we're going to look at this. There's not a number here. As we go through this column, there's no number here. There's no significant digit. So this one's going to get crossed off. There's no number here. There's a significant 0, but no number up here. Right there. And we go down this column. Oh, look at that. Everything is full. We get a nice underline. We're going to look at this number before. So it's a 9, so we know we have to round up. So we get 38.5. So that should be my final answer for that one. So let's look over at 12. So 12, similar idea. So let's line these up. We got 91.68. We get minus, because I'm taking this away, 0.1. Put it over bar there. So what do we get as an answer? It's 72.58. And now let's do the same trick. We're going down the line. We have our first problem here. We have no digit here, so this has to be crossed out. All digits here. Just as before, we're going to round it. It is an 8. It's greater than 5, so we have to increase that up. So 72.6. And this will be the last one, so heading into it. So double checking your work through all of these. Again, just starting off in a similar way, lining them up. 298.01. I'm going to add 34.112. Again, looking at the pieces of the puzzle here, so we got for our number, it is 332.112, or 122, I'm sorry, 122. So let's look through here. There's no number here, we gotta cross that out. Number, this is the one that I'm rounding to. Looking at the one before it, it's less than 5. So we're getting 332.12. And that's our final answer for those numbers. So that's addition and subtraction. And I really like this idea of looking down here. Now, a question you got to ask yourself is, what if there's a 0 here? You have to ask yourself if there is a 0, if that 0 is significant or not. Because it's not just that there's no number here, it has to be a significant digit. So let's do a similar idea here with a different number. Let's do 40, and we're going to add 3.95. We're going to come off here. So we're going to add this up. So these are what I'm adding to it. So this is my imaginary decimal point, lining everything up. So I have a 5 here, I have a 9, I have a point, I have a 3, and I have a 4. So let's look, is that missing a number? So we're gonna cross that one out. Missing a number, crossing that one out. We have a 0, but that 0 is not significant. That 0 is not significant, so I don't have great confidence in that number. So I'm actually going to look at this. It says 3, so if I look underneath here, that's a 3. So this answer only becomes 40. That's a tricky one, but if you understand that and you're able to apply this little method here, I think it'll really help anybody with the addition and subtraction. All right, so if you're struggling, take a peek at this, look at this video again, try this. And a way to lock this in even better, try to explain it to someone else that might be having a little bit of trouble. All right, we'll talk to you soon and see you in class.